Good day, everyone. My name is Kądzielska, and this is Poland Daily Culture. Today in studio we have a very original band. He's Polish and she's Chinese, and they make music together. Ladies and gentlemen, Pomponika.
Hello.
Hello.
Łucja and Piotr, thank you for coming.
Thank you for the invitation.
But before we listen to their story, let's hear them play.
Push me, that's the way you care in the name of love. Can you imagine all the nights with a broken heart fighting to grow up? Put me, that's a way of control in the name of discipline. Touch the moon alone, never wake up again. Tomorrow is another try. Violence was born from the consciousness far beyond we could realize. Deep inside you prefer to use a fist, cause it saves time for both of us.
You're a couple on a stage, but also a couple in real life. How did both work together?
How does it work?
I think it's great. I think absolutely. Because we have a common passion and we can travel and we can talk and it's all connected with our music. So it's very convenient.
But you can never escape. If whenever you quarrel on the stage, then you bring it back home.
Yes, I remember Piotr's mother once warned us before we start to the band together. So Mama said, you know, Peter, be careful. Now you are going to have a band with your wife. That if you didn't handle it very well, it could make this relationship very difficult.
Yes, it's always. But I think it's actually so far so good. Yes, ma'am?
Mm-hmm.
So I hope we can succeed and we will not have any quarrels.
I mean, it's lucky if your soulmate it's also happened to be your colleague and your closest friend in this band. Because, you know, it's never easy to have a band and work with other people. But this is my husband, and we can share anything and share any thought in any place at any time. So that makes the communication much easier. But of course, because you will have disagreement sometimes because you're individuals, so there will be some arguing moment, but no harm feelings. So I would say it's both good and not that good.
Wonderful. And who is responsible in your band for lyrics and who is responsible for music?
I think we discuss most of the things, but definitely the creative part is Cinka, Łucja. Yes, I'm trying to focus on the live performances because it's a bit different story when you just hear music online, yes, or when you really have to perform for people live. So
I guess much more engaging and difficult to also take the audience with you to this and make them understand your music. Is it the case?
It's just different, I think. Just slightly different shades of emotions, I think, you need to have. Because if you have very dreamy music, it works great, like online. So your audience is listening on the earphones your music, and they are just chill out. But on the live performance, you need to, I think, have a bit of dreamy music, but also a bit of rhythmic, higher emotions.
Your music is mostly chill out with an element of electronic music and with some Chinese folk, and as I understand with elements of Polish as well. What is your main message? How would you describe your music?
I was thinking most of the time I try to create the kind of holographic experience for people who is listening or who come to our concerts. Because it's not just about the lyric or just about the melody, it's more about the atmosphere, the whole atmosphere in the music.
Mm-hmm. And what is the atmosphere in your music? What is your main message?
I think some of them are very abstract, so I would rather describe it more into the shape, the color, and this tiny abstract movement there. But some of the songs, they have much more detail and realistic topics, so it will make the atmosphere a little different. So people can understand your lyrics more, then it will make the different atmosphere in the live performance.
We don't have like a master plan that this year we have this theme and we have to create 10 songs with this theme. It's more like there is a moment and of inspiration, and let's do music, let's do that song. Yes, and then Cinque is, closing everything and she's creating. And then we are trying to combine like different styles. We try to play it and just see what is the outcome.
And Cinque, what is your inspiration? It means that, do you have any problems or anything that haunts your soul, which you wanted to put to the music?
I don't have any problem about inspiration. Actually, I remember our friends once asked me, my friends are not musicians, so they're just very curious. They say, what if you don't have inspiration, but you want to create something, what will you do? I said, actually, I don't have that problem. I have always too many inspiration about different thoughts, about different things. So some of them are very personal feeling of some specific event happening in my life, or some is just a little tiny detail. Let's say in this morning we're driving and something is passing by and I think, oh, that's my inspiration. I'm going to write a song about it. So it's about everything.
And when it comes to putting together Polish and Chinese culture, is there anything which you write about this? Like, I don't know, do you miss your home, for example? Do you miss your Chengdu?
I think most of the time I'm fine here. I will miss my local food very much if I'm ill. Because, the tongue and your taste will always be very honest if you are weak and ill. But if I'm healthy and in good shape, I say I'm very fine here.
I see. That's good to hear as well. What instruments you work with usually?
Well, we work with electronic music mostly, so we use some software and some synthesizers that are inside and funny sound effects. But we also use some acoustic instruments. It depends on the occasion. So Lucia usually she uses her voice all the time, which is great, and some keyboards. That's her things. And I try to play bass, usually bass guitar, and I play acoustic guitar, electric guitar, and some synthesizers with usually bass is concerned.
But I've heard and I've learned that you played cello at the very beginning of your music career. Did you give up cello completely just for bass?
Well, actually, it's a long story, but my mother, she's a musician, so it was like natural way. So, little Peter, you need to go to music school. That was the idea. And then I also, like Cinque, I want to play piano because we have piano in home. So I like to just, press the keys, and it was funny sound. But they said I have to play cello. So, they choose it. So I was not really, I think, very happy about it. So then, many years later, I finally choose my instrument, which is bass guitar. It was kind of recently, because after cello, I played classical guitar in high school. And it was funny, but it was always like I'm playing somebody's music from 19th century, 18th century. But now really I learn how to improvise, how to have really creative fun with instruments. So I really appreciate it.
And do you both think that the music in education, even at the very beginning of life with children, even if they won't become professional musicians later, is important?
I think so. Because now, even I'm 30-ish now, I still can remember when I was a toddler and what I've heard from my mama's tape and the radio, what music I heard there.
Actually, music is a language, which we know that. So you should start to learn all these phrases and even complicated structures of music when you are very little. It's a language, so our brain, when we are that small, works very efficient. So totally agree. We should start with music as soon as we can. Well, I also work in foundation, and we have actually concerts for toddlers. It's called Smykofonia, and we see it. So you know, the emotions, everything is abstract. So kids also can have these emotions in them.
I think it's also great to say that music is a language worth to learn and worth to teach your children. Thank you for watching Poland Daily Culture.